Hi everyone, some gamer dude here. Spoiler season for the Epic of the Dragon Lord is officially upon us, and I've decided to give the rulers their own videos this time around, as they seem to be much more self-contained than the last two clusters. As what was implied by the post about Endless Starlight the Star Sword, Oborozuki is our first ruler and light. Before we start, I want to take a moment to discuss the art, and for the first time on this channel, I will be discussing breasts. Didn't expect that this morning, but here we are. Oborozuki's art is quite bad. Rhea's face looks really off, the whole piece looks rushed, and from a how to draw manga book. But her breasts cop at the worst. They look malformed and lumpy, but this isn't the case. When I zoom in, you can see with her right breast that the sides of her breasts are revealed. The lump is actually the revealed part of her left breast. The problem is that the perspective on her clothes, and even the design of her clothes, is really bad. But the J-Ruler somehow manages to be worse. The vampire eyes are jarring on both of them, clearly painted over the original art. This goes for the change in facial expressions too. They look so neutral and dead inside. I know, they're vampires, literally the Walking Dead, but they don't show or invoke anything. All of that aside, the sword. It's clearly just placed on top of Oborozuki's hand in the most lazy way possible. Looking up the artist, Kazuto Furuya, he's quite adept at drawing breasts, faces, and dragons. He's done quite a few cards for Force of Will, Duel Masters, and Vanguard. Absolutely none of them have the issues of Oborozuki. Given this, I really think this work was rushed. Not only does it look it, the sword screams it. Enough about the art, and I hope I never have to discuss a card's breasts again. Let's get on to the effects. As you of course know, Oborozuki is a light ruler that flips into a light darkness ruler. She has no effects pertaining to extra deck mechanics, which is what we were told by German distribution. Judgment cost of 2 light, I'll get back to that on her ruler side. She has 2 skills. For 0, once per turn and only during your turn, you can reveal the top card of your deck, and for each light attribute in its cost, Oborozuki gains a +100/+100 counter. I'm currently working on something talking about the Alice Cluster rulers, and wow, does this feel like a flashback to then. So, unless we get cards with the C, which is in light sector of the colour pie, she's horribly inconsistent. If you have 3 cards at playset that aren't light, 12 cards of your 40 card deck, she has a 30% chance to fizzle. Even when she is successful, 1 counter here, 2 counters there, it's not the most impressive of cards. Not when the Star Sword just gives you 2 counters as a side effect. She can also, once per turn and only during your turn, shift any amount of +100/+100 counters from her to another entity you control. Interesting it's not Resonator. I wonder if we'll see additions or stones that want +100/+100 counters. But okay. She seems unremarkable and a throwback to a much older and less impactful rulers, but okay. Truth be told, given the inconsistency and lack of oomph, I really am expecting some mass counter generator, probably an addition and some type of payoff. She really feels like she's leaning in that direction. For her cost of 2 light for Judgment, Oborozuki becomes a 1200/1200 light darkness vampire with flying and drain. That's far from bad for just a beat stick. She's going to be more with all the counter generation. Not amazing in a game with such regularly packed J-Ruler kill, but still, she's alright. 2 skills again. She can drain +100/+100 counters from other entities you control. Again, that word, entity, not ruler, J-Ruler, or J-Resonator. Entity. Interesting. Still seeing that addition happening. She kinda feels like Faria from Alice Origins a bit here, aiming for a big beefy ruler to swing in. Depending on how the deck goes, it might not be the hardest thing in the world for her to hit the 2000 range. With flying and drain. Yeah, alright. Basic card, but not horrible for casual play. Her secondary effect pays +100/+100 counters from her to lower the attack and defense of all J resonators your opponent controls by that much. This gets into board wipe territory the moment you hit about 10 counters. You can rip down just about anything. Might be a bit ambitious, but it's a thing. If they Moonray or Lunar Sword after you move your final 100/100 counter to her, it's going to sting like hell, and that's probably going to happen competitively. That's the feeling I'm getting from Oborozuki. She's going to be fun casually, but not competitive. Not unless her support changes this. She's inconsistent, she doesn't do much. The support we've seen can be shoved into any other light darkness deck. She's fragile. I'm not against basic cards, lacking complexity in their design. But they still have to pack a punch and be good at what they're doing. She's not. She feels like a throwback to the Alice cluster in the worst possible way. I don't expect I Spy to be scaling things back. I think they should. I don't think they would. Even if it were, this is going too far, especially with all the J-Ruler kill going around. I do think Oborozuki will get an addition that will improve her, but I'm really interested to see if she's going to be the dud of the set or reflective of the set, let alone cluster. I can't say she's what I expected or even wanted, but I am curious to see where this is going. This has been Some Gamer Dude, and thanks for watching.